Well, when I was there, so there was three Guatemala City missions. There was the South, North, and Central. And so we had like the west part of Guatemala City. Um, and so Guatemala City is broken up into zones, which is like kind of like counties, I guess you could say, or cities maybe. And so we actually had a very small part of the city, but I mean, we still had probably half of our elders in the entire mission were still in that section of the city. So all of our areas were really, really small, but there was a large population. Everybody's, really stacked on top of each other. So you'll never run out of people to teach. Um, so as far as the mission as a whole, there's really like three main like three divisions. So there's the mountain zones, there's the city zones, which I was just talking about, and then there's the coast zones. The mountains are yeah, and each of them have a very, very different demographic, culture, and even like language. Like they all speak very different. So in the mountains, there's a lot of indigenous languages and there's a large indigenous population. And so I first started in the city, then I went to the mountains, and the mountains it's extremely beautiful. It's just as green as can be, and so the language that I was able to learn was Cachiquel, which is I mean there's a lot of Spanish words that they use in it now, just because it's kind of been watered down, but it is an indigenous language. And in the mountains there's an area where they solely speak an indigenous language. It's called Sutuil, and there's other ones like such as Quiche and Mum. So I mean, if you learn those things in the mountains, like it'll really help you just kind of break the ice with the people, because a lot of the people in the mountains have a strong tradition. They're all about tradition, and by learning those languages, you're able to break barriers with people and be able to befriend them a lot more. And so as far as the city, there's a lot of more business people, that are a little bit higher class. There's also very, very, very poor people in the city. So you kind of get both. But it's very fast paced. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of markets and things like that in the city, and it's just crazy, go 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 all the time. And the coast, I actually never went to the coast, thank goodness, because it's really hot there. It is insanely hot there. And but from what I've heard, there are some indigenous languages spoken in the coast. They're very scarce. But yeah, I really don't know a whole lot about the coast, but there's a lot less population in the coast, and there's most of the church organizations in the coast are districts, so not stakes, but they're districts and branches. So it's a lot less developed in the coast. So that's where a lot of missionary work has been done and is growing a lot. So yeah, that's kind of a good overview as far as like landmarks, specifically in Guatemala City Central Mission. We have Lake Atitlan, and that is like, it's this huge lake, and there's 12 cities that surround this lake, and it's just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. There's 3 different volcanoes that surround the lake, and obviously you can't really go on the lake. I wish I would have that opportunity, but it's really beautiful. And we were able to do a few P-Day hikes and different activities out there, so it's really fun. And there's a few different Mayan ruins actually in the mountainous areas, and in the coast as well. I've heard that there's like just different artifacts and things that you can see and even find in the coast. I know a lot of elders that just found things as they were attracting or doing service work or something like that. They were able to find. So that's as far as the Guatemala City Central Mission. But as far as Guatemala as a whole, I mean, there's volcanoes that you can go climb, and there's Tikal, which is like a huge Mayan ruin up in the border between Mexico and Guatemala. I've never been there, but I really want to go. And it's just a very beautiful place, very green and very very beautiful.